Good morning. I thought today we would make a fun little gift that you could give to someone. It's a tea wallet. You could use this to put credit cards in if you want. It is just lovely. You can put teas, different kinds of teas in the little pockets. You could put instant coffees. You could put sugar, artificial sweetener, whatever it is that you like to put inside here. It could have a gift card for the person that you want to gift it to. They make great stocking stuffers. They're quick and easy to sew, so let's get going on it. Okay, you are going to need some 5x7 pieces of fabric, and we'll get those in just a second. I'm going to get some rubber bands, cheap rubber bands from the dollar store. Those will be a great thing for you to use. They're just easy, and I want to make sure I've got that lined up for you. So we're going to need one of these for each one. We're going to need 4 pieces of fabric. So I'm going to use one for a pocket and another one for a pocket. I'm going to use one for my inside and one for my outside. These are all 5x7. Now, if you have maybe like an instant drink that you can put in your water and it comes in a taller packet, well, you would want to take the measurement of your packet and add an inch or so, inch and a half, and make it taller this way. So instead of 5, it might be 7x7, okay? So just adjust that according to your need. I'm going to set these aside for right now. We're going to take our inside piece, and we are going to have one piece of fusible interfacing. This is just Pellon fusible interfacing, and we're going to press that on. And while I'm waiting for my iron to heat up back there, we're going to take each of the pockets, that's a 5x7 piece, and we're going to fold it just in half along the long edge, just like so, okay? And then we are going to stitch, about 1/4 to 1/8 of an inch, just a top stitch along the top of that. That's going to be our pocket. Okay, so we're going to stitch those two and see how fast this goes together. Okay. Those are stitched, and we clip our excess threads. We'll leave those there for a minute. I'm just going to press this real quick, and this is such a fun present to make for somebody. You can just do so many things with it, and it's a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun to make. Okay, now we've pressed our interfacing to that, and we're going to measure up 1 inch off the bottom, and no matter what size tea wallet you decide to make, you're always going to measure up 1 inch off the bottom to do the pocket. So if you made one that's 7x7, you're still going to go up 1 inch. You're going to put your first piece there. We're just going to set that on there, and then we're going to go ahead and put a couple little pins in it. One there and one there. You can use clips if you like, it doesn't matter. And if you don't want to pin it, you don't have to. Okay, now we're going to stitch along the bottom edge of our pocket here, and just about 1/4 of an inch or so. This isn't going to show, so just scoot along and make it the way you need it. Okay, there we go. Clip off your excess threads. You know, I like to keep the threads neat. Okay, and then we're going to take the next pocket, and we are going to line it up along the bottom, just like just like so. Go ahead again and put some couple pins in up at the top just to kind of keep things in line. And you're going to see how fast this goes together. It's so cute. Okay, we are going to sew a little less than 1/4 inch, so about 1/8 of an inch along the bottom. Okay, we've done that. Trim your threads. Remove your pins. And now what we're going to do is we are going to measure in half. So depending upon how wide your piece is, you're going to go with a ruler and measure exactly half. And then we're going to draw a line from the top of the pocket down to the bottom. You don't have to go all the way up to the top. And we are going to top stitch that all the way through all layers. So just start at that top of that pocket and back stitch because you're going to want to secure that. You don't need to back stitch at the bottom. It will be secured in our seam. Okay, trim off your excess thread, front and back. Okay, I'm going to take my rotary cutter and my ruler here and just trim off this little excess that's on the side here so it's all nice and neat. Okay. Now we're going to take our elastic band. If yours has a metal piece like mine does, just put it to the outside right here. You're going to hold it in place and you're going to stitch right across there. So I'm going to put this under my needle, and I'm going to hold this like so, and I'm going to take a little stitch back and forth across there just to anchor that, and it needs to be relatively close to the edge of your fabric. You don't want it too far in because we don't want it to show on the outside. Then we're going to trim our threads here. Okay, make sure that's all good. All right, so that's what you should look like right now. Now you're going to take your, this will be your outside, and you're going to lay that on top of all your pieces. You're going to tuck a pin in, just like so. If you tuck the pin in this way, you won't have to remove it as you're stitching, okay? And make sure everything's even and lined up. There we go. And you're going to want to make sure that your ponytail holder or your elastic, whatever you're using, is right tucked inside there, okay? Now we are going to make a couple little marks at the top, probably about, I'd say 3 inches. That looks like about 3 inches. Let's just measure it and make sure. Yep, 3 inches. Okay. So 3 inches across, and we're going to start and stop our stitching on those marks so that we can turn it out right sides out. Now you're going to take a 1/4 inch seam at this point, anchor your stitch, get to the edge, needle down and turn, go down the next side. When you get to that part where your elastic is, go over that a couple times, front and back. And it just reinforces that anchoring. Okay. And then we're going to go down the bottom, 1/4 inch. And up the side. And we're just going to stitch to our mark, and then we're going to back stitch. Okay. We just want to anchor that. Cut your threads close so they're not loose and dangly. Okay. Now we're going to take our pins out and we're going to start trimming our edges. Trim close to your stitching, but not in your stitching. Okay. You want to just kind of trim that excess fabric so you can turn a nice corner without the bulk. We're just reducing the bulk. So just be careful not to trim your seam into your stitching area there. You're just trimming some of the excess. Okay, there we go. One more. Now, we got all that. Let's get rid of our crumbs here. Put them down in the garbage. Okay, so to make this easy for you to turn and have a nice fold when you're done, go ahead and fold back against that seam edge there and just finger press that fabric real good. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other side where your opening is, and you're going to just fold back and finger press real good there. Okay, then when we turn that, you'll see that we already have a crease to go from so we can close our seam when it's time. All right, so you're going to turn it right sides out now, and you'll find that it turns fairly easily. You're going to want to make up 20 or 30 of these, I know it. Oh, I've made these for years. They're so fun. And they're useful too. You could put them in your car and put Band-Aids in them. You could have a little glove compartment stash. So if you have a little, maybe an alcohol swab in there and or some wet wipes, you can do all kinds of stuff with it. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and, like we did the other day, we're going to go ahead and turn these out. Just kind of take your stiletto and work that corner a little bit and get it out all the way. You don't want to use anything pokey when you're turning it because you don't want to put a hole through it, but you do want to get those edges out. And you can use a pin. It doesn't have to be a stiletto. Okay, there we go. Now we've got the little bit that's folded already. I'm going to bring over a little pressing mat here. And where did I put that? There it is. Bring my pressing mat over and I'll show you how we press this out. Okay. So we just want to have that nice and smooth. Make sure all your edges are turned out as far as they can go. And then we're just going to give it a little press, turn it over and give it a little press. I'm going to fiddle with the top a little bit some more. Let's see here, I want to go like that. There we go. Okay. Give that a little press. I'm not using steam, I'm using a dry iron, so it's not going to go through and hurt my mats. Okay, then we're going to start in this corner over here, and we're going to go stitch about 1/8 of an inch from the edge, just top stitch. You can back stitch a little bit to anchor it. Go to the edge there and down the side. You're going to top stitch. I should move my pedal around so I get a little more juice here. There we go. Okay. That looks good. Turn. If you keep your needle down when you turn, you'll have a much better result. Just makes it easier. Okay. back stitch a little bit. Okay. Then we can clip those threads close to the seam there. Okay, we're all done. Wasn't that fun? Now this just folds in half. You can press it with your iron. Bring this over your little tab, and what you're going to do is, depending upon whether you're making using a button that has 4 holes or 2 holes, just go ahead and make a little dot with your removable marker. This is an air erase marker that I'm using. You know, that's one of my favorites. A friction pen will work. Go ahead and just make a couple little dots. If it's 4, you'll go ahead and make 4 dots. And that's where you're going to sew your button. So get your button box out and some threads, and just stitch yourself a little button on just like this. We used some embroidery thread and embroidery floss, and then you can tuck your packets in. Isn't that fun? You can be very creative with this. This pattern is on my blog site at Sister of the Divide under T-Wallet. So if you Google Sister of the Divide T-Wallet, you will have the pattern written out for you with instructions and diagrams, and you can make it. But isn't this fun? So pretty. And you could use Christmas fabrics. You could use we're coming up on Valentine's Day in a couple months, so you could get a bunch ready for Valentine's Day and have some pretty teas in it, some herbal teas or whatever you like. You can color coordinate them with your holiday or event, or for the person that you're making them for, but a lot of fun. Okay, well, thanks. I hope that was fun for you, and we'll do some more of these kind of things as the holidays progress. Thanks. Bye-bye.